has picked it off. Taken in at the 3. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. That is caught by Thielen. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A first carry for a Miami native. This is Dalvin Cook. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on 1st down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 41. They run it again with Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota. The kick by Joseph is good, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So the field goal that cuts the lead in half as they, too, are able to get some points on their initial drive of the game.
Yeah, all in all, a pretty positive response, right, to the points that were scored against them, and they got a little help from their opponent anyway. Missed the conversion, so now they're just 3 back.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but...
He's got a man, complete! And he'll go down at the 28. It's a big play there for Miami. 46 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. Stopped short of the 25. The second effort couldn't free him. Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. Tua sets up to pass it. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
The kick by Sanders is good. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So they were able to win that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. From the 35 on second down, Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Now Cousins. Right back to Cook for another completion. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space.
Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, 45 yards. And the Vikings have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. And with that, his guys take the lead here by a point. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Off the squib kick, he corrals it inside. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On second down, Cook. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They go play action. Cousins. This ball complete to Thielen going across the middle. A gain there of 21 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Cousins on first down. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
First down, here's Cousins. This is intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Room here to run. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Dolphins will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw taken in by Hockenson here.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Noah Igbinoghene.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown.
That was a nice catch and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player as soon as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races and into the end zone.
Sanders now to add the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. It's a wobbler and it's intercepted. There he goes left side. 20, 10. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick two, if you will, as head play backfires in a big way. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Sanders now to kick this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And some space here. And they will finally haul him down at the Dolphins' 30. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, I'd have to say in that situation, they're lined up for a running play. It's only 3rd and 2. Some element of the pass, but that was really well blocked.
Probably call those gravy plays, right, if you're the offensive coordinator?
No doubt about it. All you're trying to do is get the 2 yards necessary for a first down. Then you look up, you got a whole lot more than that.
Yeah, they did. They got a lot more than that, indeed. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
91 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. 4 yards to go on 2nd down from the 7. Here's Cook again.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
To throw is Cousins. And it's caught.
And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. It's Cousins on the sneak, and he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, give him credit. That's a good, solid game there on the sneak because it all comes together. Enough space, get forward, gain yardage. Well done.
2nd and goal from the 1. Cousins on the keeper, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Kirk Cousins scoring on the sneak from a yard out.
And the Vikings are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd.
And this is no good. It's a missed extra point. Boy, in a tight game, how important might that turn out to be here as the second half rolls along? So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Ready up. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 81 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an outside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
120 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better.
Back now in Miami. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Fake it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When they'd line up, go ahead, and oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
So risky to get 15. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. It's a kickoff return of 94 yards. And the Dolphins get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. They'll try and throw for it. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. That kickoff return, 104 yards. And the Vikings have got it back to within a score. And that big 4th quarter return, Charles, makes this a 1-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had the big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for 2? Or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
A fairly short kick from the 14.
And pretty good field position here. He's out of bounds right at the 35.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Now an open man, that's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Once again, it's Mostert. And he's got some space here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 44 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Credit Zadarius Smith, able to get through and make that tackle for a loss. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. A run with Mostert up the middle. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. Well, it has been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far. But let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidenced right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that touchdown because that was a defense that was really keyed up to cover those receivers. All they wanted to do was blanket them. They didn't have enough men in the box to stop the run, and you saw the end result.
And the Vikings able to and now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And going deep for Hill. And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Tua going to throw. Gesicki hauling in the quick throw. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by a South Florida native, Patrick Peterson. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. To me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and...
And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
And this win now going to look a little more lopsided on the scoreboard, CD.